Greetings, fellow test subjects. Test subject 1337 for Aperture Gaming. They make it. We test it. You play it. Welcome to an Aperture Gaming Retro Review. Now, on today's review, as mentioned in the little preamble there, this game is rated M for mature. It depicts the actions of a cat doing violent and actions towards mutated evil unicorns. So here's what. So viewer discretion is just to be on the safe side. Just watch with carefully. All right, so here's what. This game, it reminds me, it's like, I've noticed there's some games where there's the whole genre or trending of made to be cute and cuddly and family friendly, but then corrupted and made oh so very wrong. Kind of like how we got Five Nights at Freddy's, which then led to Poppy's Playtime. And there's like a film from Spain, I think, Unicorn War, basically teddy bears versus unicorns. And then there was the old Xbox game Raze's Hell, RAZE''S Hell. So yeah, this was a very interesting game to play. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, you have my attention. So interesting visuals, interesting audio, and just, well, what is this game that is oh so interesting, oh so cute, and yet oh so violent? Well, let's get into the review, shall we? Series. The name of the game is Gori Cuddly Carnage. As far as I can tell, it is not a sequel, a prequel, or an in-between-quel. It is its own unique property. Standalone title. Team. This game was developed by Angry Demon Studio, and it was published by Wired Productions, but it was also Couch Play Interactive in the greater China area. Plot. This game takes place in the future. A company called Cool Toys has developed a cat called Gori. It was deemed as defective or unpopular, and that's who you play as. You will team up with your sentient hoverboard named Frank, who is part hoverboard but seems to have the mannerisms of both Deadpool and Gurr from Invader Zim. You also work with your ship Chip, an AI who is round and very depressed, so kind of reminds me of the robot I saw in the movie The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Anyway, Cool Toys has made a new series of toys of unicorns, but then something goes wrong. The toys start to rebel. They start to attack humans as deeming them as uncute, to the point where they have to the humans are chased off the earth. The ones that are staying behind, the human resistance, are either being fought and captured or destroyed by the toys. You, as Gori, has to look for Dr. Y, the scientist who created you, try to find her, build a super weapon to defeat the evil toy, the adorable army as they are called, and save the world and save humankind. Gameplay controls. The game is a third-person hack and slash, but it also like borderline skateboard game. Because here's what, you ride around on Frank the hoverboard. And you have to sometimes wall grind or regular grind on items to build up energy. The enemies you fight, Frank can do like a regular slash attack or like use a spiked ball to smash enemies with. And it even has like a grenade launching function. So yeah, the unicorns, they have turned very, very wrong and you have to destroy them. So yeah, as you slash your way through the minions to try to get to the generals or the bosses to find the pieces, you can find collectible keys to open up new areas inside the ship. And after each main mission, there's a time trial where you have to try to build up points to unlock a uncorrupted unicorn. The game has like 4 different difficulty settings, and how you play them and how much time you take. Because each level has a stat ranking at the end where it determines which level of difficulty you played, how fast you beat the level, and your overall high score. You have to earn money. You earn money in the game in each level. You can use it to unlock upgrades for your gear and customizable options for Gori and Frank, the hoverboard. One thing I like about the combat in the game is how when you're fighting some of the unicorns, if you knock them down, you can then, well, not only just unicorns, but there's multiple spots in the game where when you knock down an enemy, you can then hit one of the control buttons, and a pre-recorded, pre-set up animation happens where You then do a ultimate gory finisher to get health points and stuff for the board, fuel for the board. So I do like how they have that in there.
Graphics.
The graphics are very interesting. It's a combination of like a dystopian, neo-futuristic thing with all the lights and the streets and graffiti. But it's also very weird because it's like, here's what the toys have taken over the planet. It looks like if Joker and Toyman from the DC universe teamed up and took over and ran roughshod over the tent in the Amazing Digital Circus. So yeah, there's like those soft foamy mats you see in kids' rooms everywhere. There's balls, there's unicorns, there's xylophones, there's like toys of all this nature just scattered about. It's very interesting. And another graphic thing is, as I mentioned, how this game is rated M for mature. In the settings, you can actually make it so when the unicorns are defeated, the goo that splats out of them looks more like something, I don't know, like Happy Fun goo, or something like you'd see the insides of a cake or whatever. But yeah, it is a little weird seeing what the unicorns look like when they're mutating and zombified and just straight up, no longer cute and cuddly. So yeah, it's a very interesting and weird dynamic where all three sections of futuristic, toys, and weird horror thing happens. So yeah, it's a weird crossover, and a little unnerving. So this game is rated M for mature. So yeah, don't let the kids see this because otherwise they'll never look at a teddy bear or Jack in the Box the same way ever again.
Audio.
One thing for the audio I really appreciate is how almost everything in the game talks, and it has like this cutesy voice to it, but it is the polar opposite of off-putting when the cutesy voice says how it wants to destroy you or use profanity. And so there's two things. Yeah, and so Frank, when you first start the game, has a family-friendly censored mode, but if you earn $5,000 in a level, you can pay to turn off the family-friendly mode and have Frank fully swear. And here's what I appreciate. I appreciate how with everything talking, cutesy and whatnot, how Gori, he just meows and purrs and hisses like a normal cat. They didn't do a cute voice actor for that, so I appreciate that. Also, I do like the sound effects of the combat, and I do like the music in the background, and I do have to cover that later on in the video, so hang on one second.
Multiplayer.
No, it is not multiplayer.
DLC.
Alright, there is DLC, and this is kind of an interesting thing I was doing some research on. So when the game came out, there was a free day one DLC. So yeah, the game came out in August of last year, the 26th for the PlayStation 5, and then for Steam it came out on the 29th. So with the DLC, there's like the game one, day one free stuff, and then the DLC mostly consists of like outfits for Gori and for Frank. But then here's what I find weird. On the Steam store, they have the same things, but they have more outfits for Frank and Gori. They also have the art book, and speaking of, and I'm coming back to this now, they actually have the soundtrack for the game on Steam. So I was like, okay, and I've been checking. There's only 3 outfits available for Gori and Frank on PlayStation. So it's like, okay, what's going on here? Why are we getting snubbed in this area? Maybe we'll get more later on. Maybe they'll cross over later on. Who knows? But yeah, so there is DLC for both systems, but I find it a little weird how Steam is giving us a little more. And since I do like the soundtrack, I may download it from Steam.
Issues.
So yeah, of the issues, my one issue is how one system has more DLC than the other. But so yeah, there's that. Secondly, when I was first playing the game, like during the first chapter of the game, I just defeated a whole bunch of the unicorns, and then suddenly the screen slows down, like the whole post-combat results. But then the game crashed, so I had to get an error report sent to the PlayStation Network. So I replayed the exact same fight then a few moments later and got through that without any problems. So that was a weird thing. I haven't encountered anything else, but kind of odd how that happened. Yeah. Now another issue. Now not a technical issue, but something I find a little annoying. After I paid the $5,000 to turn Frank's family-friendly mode off, so I'm back in the shop where I can buy other stuff. It can range from cosmetics to upgrades, so stuff that's useful versus stuff that's for entertainment. So Frank's. So then I'm looking back, and Frank's family friendly setting is available. It says you want to turn Frank's swearing off. That'll cost you another $5,000. I'm like, seriously? I paid for this. I paid to turn it off, and you're charging me to turn it back on? See, I thought this would be like a feature where I could turn on and off manually. So, kind of a jerk move for the game to be pulling that stunt. But overall, aside from that and the one crash earlier, the game is functioning perfectly well. No problems.
Buy, rent, or pass.
Yes, when I first saw the trailer for this game, it caught my attention. As this is the internet, of course, cats, and then of course the weird dynamic of the whole taking something that is cute and family friendly, and then giving it thrusting it into the whole, oh, we're going to include swear words. Oh, there's going to be blood and violence and combat. Oh, we're making this from E for everyone to M for mature. It's weird how it seems to be a genre of false cutesiness, but it works. I enjoyed the audio. The story is good. The combat very intense. It's fun watching a cat on a hoverboard beat the ever-loving confetti out of a mutated unicorn. So I'd say this game is a definitive buy.
Overall score.
And that, my friends, is Gori Cuddly Carnage. So yeah, this is a very interesting title. I was a little off-put by the whole fact that the game crashed, and it's been, late August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So literally half a year, and so some stuff is still going on. But hopefully it gets patched and fixed. And hopefully the DLC that we see on Steam will come over to PlayStation. If not, worst case scenario, I just buy the soundtrack through Steam. But I would like to see some of the other skins that were made available for the game. Overall, I'd say that Gori Cuddly Carnage gets a 9.5 out of 10. It's a fun game. It's interesting seeing how the world has been turned into the world's biggest, most corrupt toy box. And I just had I genuinely had fun with this. It's a really fun title, and I highly suggest you check it out. Well, anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode of Aperture Gaming Retro Review. Until next time, this has been Test Subject 1337 saying thank you for watching, game on, and have a nice day.